Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Shunvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto Hyabadrani Vidunoti Suhrasatam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. We are in Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, reading studying Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 22. Let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, yeah, we can get started.
Yes.
1.3.22. Naradevatvam apannaha surakarya chikirshaya samudra nigrahadini chakre viryanyatah param. Naradevatvam आपन्नः सुरकार्य चिकीर्षया समुद्र निग्रहाधीनि चक्रे वीर्याण्यतः param. What meaning? Nara, human being. Devatvam, divinity. Apannaha, having assumed the form of Sura, the demigods. Karya, activities. Sikirshaya, for the purpose of performing. Samudra, the Indian Ocean. Nigraha Adini, controlling, etc. Chakre, did perform. Viryani, superhuman prowess. Atah Param, thereafter. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama. In order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods, he exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist King Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. The personality of Godhead Sri Rama assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe. Sometimes great demons and atheists like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and many others become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with the spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. For example, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accommodated there for practical purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord. But puffed up by tiny success in material advancement, sometimes the godless materialists challenge the existence of God. Ravana was one of them, and he wanted to deport ordinary men to the planet of Indra, heaven, for by material means without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built up directly reaching the heavenly planets so that people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter the planet. He also wanted to perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Rama, the personality of Godhead, and kidnapped his wife Sita. Of course, Lord Rama came to chastise this atheist, answering the prayer and desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravana, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramachandra was the personality of Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the materially advanced Ravana, could perform. Lord Ramachandra appeared a royal. Lord Ramachandra prepared a royal road on the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because weightlessness is the criteria of the Lord by which he can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, he made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillar. That is the display of the power of God. So today we'll also be reading the text 23, which is this shorter one. एकोनविंशे विंशतिमे वृष्णिषु प्राप्य जन्मनि रामकृष्णाविति भुवो Bhagavan aharad bharam ekonavimshe vimshatime vrishnishu prapya janmani Rama Krishna viti bhuvo Bhagavan aharad bharam Ekona Vimshe in the 19th, Vimshatime in the 20th also, Vrishnishu in the Vrishni dynasty, Prapya having obtained, Janmani births, Rama, Balarama, Krishna, Sri Krishna, Iti, thus, Bhuvaha on the world of the world, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Aharat removed, Bharam burden. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balarama and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty, and by doing so, he removed the burden of the world. The specific mention of the word Bhagavan in this text indicates that Balarama and Krishna are the original forms of the Lord. This will be further explained later. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we learned from the beginning of this chapter. He is directly the original personality of Godhead, and Balarama is the first plenary manifestation of the Lord. From Baladeva, the first phalanx of plenary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna expands. Lord Sri Krishna is Vasudeva and Baladeva is Sankarshana. So before we discuss, we will say the pranam mantras. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशाम् नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are discussing about the different avatars of Krishna, where Sutta Goswami was asked about the different pastimes and the Leela avatars of the Supreme Lord, and he starts explaining all those different avatars, and we were discussing about the 19th and the 20th avatars. And before that, the 18th avatar is Lord Rama himself. So Krishna comes in different yugas. He says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya chadushrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. Means whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious principles and an abundance of religious principles, I advent myself. And what are the three reasons he will come? He will come for Paritranaya sadhana, means to deliver the devotees, Vinasaya to Dushratam, to annihilate the demons, and to establish the principles of Dharma. And this happens year after year. So millennium after millennium means yuga after yuga. And what we have seen, we have been discussing about the different avatars, right? Which is Narsimha Avatara, Vamana Avatara, and then Parshurama Avatara. Now today we are discussing about Rama Avatara. And what is the purpose of coming as Lord Rama? And Lord Rama, he came as a human being. So Krishna can come in different forms. If you see Narsimhadev, did he take birth from a womb? No, he came from the pillar right away. So that is the thing that many people don't understand. They think that they equate the God like to the normal human being and think that they can also become God. No, but we all took birth in from a human from another human being. But God, in multiple avatars, he came directly from Narsimha avatar. He manifested from the pillar. Lord Vamanadev appearance is similar to Lord Krishna's, where he was born from Diti with his forehand Narayana form. Then he converts into a Brahmana boy, which is already 10 years old. And then he gets all the blessings and the initiation from the different demigods and goes to Bali's place in the same day. Similarly, but when we look at Lord Rama, there was a purpose, because Ravana was a atheist and he was also a devotee of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is called Ashutosh, means he's pleased very easily. So the difference between Vishnu and Shiva is, yeah, both are the expansions of the Supreme Lord, but Shiva doesn't care your intentions. If you do sincere devotion, he will give you the powers. He doesn't care whether you are an atheist or a like a devotee. On the other hand, Vishnu, he looks at your intentions, and Vishnu is, oh, he, as long as your intentions are to hurt other living entities, he will not give you the powers. He will not. Only if he ensures that you are kind to other living entities, just like Prahlad Maharaj and like all the devotees that you see, that the most important quality of a devotee is paradukka dukhi, means he or she, the devotee, will not like to see other devotees in distress mode. If they see other living entities in distress, the devotee immediately takes the distress upon themselves. That's why we, all the devotees, they, as soon as they come into the Krishna consciousness, they see that their life has transformed, all the anxieties in their life has subsided, and they can see the presence of Krishna's hand within their life, and they don't want to keep it to themselves. They want to spread that to all the other living entities also. That's why this Krishna conscious movement is, with the grace of Prabhupada, that we are able to take this to every. If it was not done, I would not have come into this. But that's why we don't want to keep the buck with ourselves. We have to pass it on. So that's why we do this. So that's why, like Vishnu will not give the grant the desires until unless we are purified within our heart. But on the other hand, Shiva doesn't care. So Ravana, he did great tapasya. He impressed Lord Shiva by carrying the Kailasha hill on his shoulders, and he sacrificed his heads 10 times to please him. And Shiva immediately granted the boon. And similar to Hiranyakashipu, Ravana also, and of course he is also the second incarnation of Jaya Vijaya's avatar, he and Kumbhakarna. So Ravana asks, I should not be killed by any demigods or any demons or even the Supreme Personality himself is, because Hiranyakashipu was killed by the Supreme Lord in the forms, right? So he says even the Supreme Lord cannot kill me. But see, like Narayana sitting within the heart, he is so matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha. He will give remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge. And in that, Ravana felt very proud that he is so invincible that only the demigods and the demons have the power. And in the material world, of course, you see the humans really don't have the power that the demigods and demons wield. So he said, "Oh, these human beings, they can't do anything to me." So he ignores the naras. So, in order to kill him, because he's an atheist, he's causing troubles to all he's creating imbalance. You have the three levels, similar to just how Bali Maharaj was tried to occupy. He occupied all the three worlds and did not give any place to the Devatas. And Vamana Deva came to establish the order, which is the higher planets for the Devatas, lower planet for the demons, and the middle planet for the human beings. Ravana also tried to occupy, and he also he won all those higher planets, and he had the devatas lie as the steps to his throne. So he used to walk on them to sit on his throne. And he even wanted he had to do a lot of tapasya to reach there, but he did not want his people to go through the same austerity. He said, "Let me build a staircase." And of course, he fell asleep while building the staircase, and he could not do it. So what I'm trying to come is the Supreme Lord came as Lord Rama as a human being. So he was a human being. So if you see, we all will, whether we came into these classes before or not from childhood, if you see, we get so much attracted to Lord Rama because he is just like us, a human being. He did not show off his opulence until like when the moment came, but he acted in the same moment. He could have done so many things. He could have brought killed Ravana with his Sudarshan Chakra and brought Sita. He would have prevented that things happen also. But since he was acting he was participating in the pastime of a human being, he went through all the struggles we human beings we also go through. and that's why we are able to relate to him very well. And of course, when the time comes, he built the whole bridge to Lanka, and he annihilated Ravana, and he annihilated in a way as a human only, because he took the help of Vibhishana, he took the help of Lakshmana, like Hanuman, the Vanaras, everyone. He, like an army, he went and he killed. Similarly, then when Ravana was killed, the pastime of Ravana, he went back with Sita, and Ayodhya he ruled along with Sita, Lord Rama. Now the second, that was in Treta Yuga. The next one is in Dwapara Yuga. In Dwapara Yuga, again, Krishna came himself in his own Swarupa, which is Krishna himself. If you read the purport, Prabhupada was saying that he is not an avatara, he is avatari, means came in his own Swarupa form. And he came along with Balarama. And if you see in that verse, the word Bhagavan was highlighted, which means that Krishna is Bhagavan himself. So, and if you see, since he came with his own Swarupa, he really did not have any restrictions that Lord Rama had. He could do whatever he want. So sometimes that's why people, like the human beings, feel a little bit envious towards Krishna, because he did not have any restrictions, and we could not relate sometimes in this way, which is, Krishna had so much power, and then if you see, Gandhari was also saying, Krishna, you did everything, because of you only my sons died, everything. So people look at Krishna in whatever way they want, but on the other hand, if we are devotees, we immediately get attracted to Krishna because of all his unlimited powers and all the love he has, basically. Because the Supreme Lord is a repository of prema. And if we connect to him, then we will see that love manifest in our heart, and we can see. So I will basically, in order to take this concept further, I will share a few slides which we can discuss. So last week we see that the different manifestation. Last time we met about the avatars. So Lord Rama, we discussed about the purpose of his appearance, and we also discussed about Krishna and Balaram. Now what we are understanding is the Krishna, like Prabhupada says, that Krishna and Balaram are Bhagavan himself, which means that you see the Krishna, and then all the avatars are coming from Krishna only. That how can we understand that concept really? Because you're saying that there is Krishna here, and there is Balram, and there is Lord Rama, but again there is Narsimha, Vamana, and why is out of all them, why Krishna is is called the source of all these avatars? How do we know that? How can we understand that? There are two ways, right? One is we can follow what the realized souls are saying. Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtam Nanavataram Akarot Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramah Pumanyo Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Bhajam. Means Krishna is Swayam Sambhavat. And he is a Param Purusha. Which means that I worship Govinda, the primal Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested himself as Krishna. And there are different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, etc. as the subjective portions. Means they are all the expansions of Krishna. Or the other way we can do is, okay, I don't want to follow the previous acharyas, I want to find by myself. That's exactly what Sage Markandeya did. You know, Sage Markandeya, who is saved by Lord Shiva when Lord Yamaraj came to take his soul away from his body. So he, after growing up, he wanted to understand the whole creation, who was behind it, and all. So he sat in meditation for thousands and thousands of years. And one day, he started noticing that this whole world, entire universe was getting filled up with water, and he could see everywhere it's water only. So he started swimming for thousands and thousands of years. And once, after swimming for many thousands of years, he came upon a small island in which there was a banyan tree, and on the tree, on one leaf, he could see baby Krishna just sucking his toe. From that, he could understand that, and he was laughing basically. So what we can understand is what Sage Markandeya he could understand is Krishna is the source of everything, and there is nothing he really wants to do. He is happy by his own. He's Atma Rama. He's fully in pleasure by himself. He doesn't need to do anything. It is for us that he is creating all this world and manifesting. Do we want to do like thousands and millions of years of tapasya and then come to this point, or we can follow the Acharya's teachings also? But who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan means Maharshi. He is the father of Vyasadeva. He gives the definition. These are the 6 qualities a person who should be called as Bhagavan should have. Means who is the original person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anadir, Adir, Anantarupam. Means he is all wealth. He has all opulence. And he is all powerful, opulence or strength. And then he is all knowledge, means omniscient. All powerful means omnipotent. All beauty means he is the most beautiful. And he is all renunciation. Means I was in a university where I was discussing with some students on this Bhagavan concept, and they were not able to relate that. Okay, so why would he create all this? Why we have to go through all this? So let's say we do a small exercise, right? Imagine it's not possible, but imagine we were in the shoes of Bhagavan. We are all opulent, all wealthy, all powerful, all strength. We know everything, that we are the only person. There is nothing around apart from us, and we are all beautiful and we are all renunciate. Means we really don't have anything to do. What would you do? You see everything. You see yourself. You see. You know that you are the only one and you are the most powerful. There is nothing other than you. And if you can go on mute. Yeah. So what would you do? So some of the students gave different answers, but one student said that if I really know that I am the all-powerful, I really don't have to do anything. I don't have to work, right? He said, yeah, you really don't have to work. You are happy by yourself. But I still want to have fun. So what I would do is I will create a clone of myself. I will just see what that person will do. So, and the Lord did not do anything different. He just expanded himself as Balarama, and he, with his complete potency, he could have. He wanted to just see that what's going to happen, and then he made an exact replica of himself, and he expanded as Balarama. And since the Lord is omniscient, means he has full knowledge. Even Balarama is omniscient; he has full knowledge. But what Balarama understood, he knows that he is not the first; he is the second. He is the first expansion of Krishna. Means he is the second, and he also knew what was the purpose. The purpose was, which is to make Krishna happy, even further happy, to engage whatever his whole thing in the service of Krishna. That's exactly what Balarama did. He became his Krishna's shoes. He became his bed. He became everything for Krishna. And what else he did? He wanted to engage every energy. So that's why Balarama is called the servant Bhagavan. Means he's the Bhagavan in the mood of a servant, and Krishna is the Bhagavan in the mood of an enjoyer. So Balaram is always in the mood of serving Krishna. This is in the spiritual world. We discussed the material world previously, which starts from Mahavishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Now this is all in the spiritual world. So what Balaram did, he wanted to engage all of his energies also in the service of Krishna. So what he did, he expanded with further into what is called a fourth Chaturvyuha, means Aniruddha, that is mentioned in the verse, Vasudeva, Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And what are these energies stand for? Vasudeva is the energy of consciousness, which is the source of Brahma Jyoti. Sankarshna is the source of false ego, which is source of Mahavishnu. Pradyumna is source of energy of intelligence and the source of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Aniruddha is the energy of the mind or psychic action and is the source of Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So our topic for today is like the Sankarshna. He is also the energy of false ego. Means what? One of the energies of the Supreme Lord also had the tendency to enjoy independently. And that's what Balarama noticed, or he saw that, okay, there is an energy that really doesn't want to engage directly in the service of Krishna. He wants to enjoy separately. But what Balarama's mood is, he wants to engage all of his energies. So that's the purpose of this world. So he wanted to engage this energy also, which is the energy that wants to enjoy independently of Krishna, to also be enjoying along with Krishna. So that's why we see that he expanded further as Narayana, another 4 expansions, then became Karmadaksha Vishnu, then the whole material universe was created, and within this material universe, the different avatars came. And he keeps coming in different avatars to encourage, or to bring these living entities who want to enjoy separately back to the Supreme Lord to enjoy. Because we might think, okay, you understood the purpose of the material world, the spiritual world, how it is mentioned, but why I have to get out? Why can't I just continue enjoying here? So for that, we have seen, right, this material world is 3 layers. And Prabhupada compares this material world to a fair. Like you see a fair that's put up and down, like it's put for some time, like in India, it's called exhibition. After some time, it is removed. Similarly, this material world is manifested, it goes back to Mahavishnu's body, again comes out as the universes, goes back. And what is the thing with this with fair? Basically, the Mahavishnu injects impregnates all this material world with the living entities, and then as soon as we fall into the living this material world, we feel very separated from the Supreme Lord, and we feel unhappy because we are away from our real parents. And when we come under let's say child is lost in the fair, they will start crying for their parents. And then if the parents they could not find, someone will come there like a police and ask what's happening, and the child will say, oh, I lost my parents. And they come under the protection of the police or the security of the fair, which is basically this whole material world is under the protection of Mother Durga, who is controlling this. But will the child continue crying for eternity? No, the child will maybe cry for a few hours, and suddenly when they start focusing on the different things that are happening in the fair, they get mesmerized. They want to enjoy. And each of us came with different, like when we are lost in this fair, I might be having $100 in my pocket, you might be having $200, some might be $1,000. But in a fair, none of the things are free, right? You have to pay tickets. So we checked in our pocket and we had some pocket money. We enjoy all these things. And at one point, will they allow us to go in this forever? No. Anything you take, they will ask you to stay only for some time, and after your time is done, they will ask you to go out. Similarly, when we might be going into heavenly planets initially, stay there for millions of lifetimes, but after Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti, after all our punya is done, we will fall into the earthly planet. And what is this earthly planet? If your money is done, you will have to go through some rides that are free. What is the ride that is free? Mostly in the malls or even in the fairs. The one thing that is always free is the carousel, where you have different animals going round and round. So sometimes we might be sitting on a zebra, sometimes on a tiger, sometimes we might be sitting on a human kind of shape. So in this material, human earthly planets, we are taking life as sometimes cows, sometimes giraffes, sometimes tigers, and sometimes we get a human form of life. When we get a human form of life, we get the opportunity to uh, do more good activities, get some money by ourselves, and we again go to higher planets and come back. But this merry-go-round, we are going this round and round and round again. But once we look at this, then how do we understand the demigods and other concepts? So we'll take 5 more minutes. A carousel will not, none of the things in the fair will go by themselves, right? There should be a control. And will the control also be happening by itself? No, there should be a controller. Similarly, in this material world, all the demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, they are all the controllers. And once there is a problem of when there is a and once these people who are going round and round, they will be able to see the controller every time. So we will see the presence of the demigods in our lives, because in the Vedas it is mentioned, do this yagna, you will get this rain. So yeah, once we do this yagna, the rain falls, and we immediately say, oh, there is definitely Indra, there is definitely Varuna. So we see the presence. Similarly, this operator is controlling, we'll see the operator's presence. And once in a while, when there is a problem, what happens? The operator will call the chief engineer, who is the Brahma here. So similarly, when demigods have a problem in this material affairs, they immediately go to Brahma for help. And Brahma will be able to solve most of the problems. But if there is unruly like people in the fair where they are not listening properly and they are causing trouble to other things, other people in the fair, what they will do is similar, just like the Asuras, Ravana and Kumbhakarna, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu, Brahma will immediately go to the main boss, the number one boss of the whole material world, and ask for help, who is Vishnu himself. And there is nothing the person will not be able to do. Vishnu will be able to solve any problem. And does it mean that this is the end of this? In the material world, we have these demigods and we have Vishnu, and there is nobody else. No, Vishnu is acting; he's doing his duty. But Vishnu, we can have his own family, right? The CEO of that, who has any number of thousands and thousands of these malls and fairs, he has his family. So he can actually visit this fair and also sit along with us sometimes. So he can come with his family, like Krishna and Radha. They can come into the material world along with the human beings. They can also go around with us to give us pleasure. But what we have to understand is, once we start understanding that this fair is not making me happy, I'm going to this, as long as we feel that okay, I'm enjoying this merry-go-round or this ship that is going up and down, I feel happy. There is no problem. The demigods are there, Brahma is there, and Vishnu is there for us to continue in that aspect. But once we realize that this is not giving me the real pleasure, which is what I got mesmerized by this material world, is Maya. The real pleasure comes when I go to my real father and mother, which is Krishna in the supreme spiritual world. Then we'll feel very happy. So that is what it is. So how can we get there? Is right now we are struggling in the material world. The lotus feet of Krishna is already there, ready to help us. The spiritual master is giving us our hand, saying that please chant, please chant. And in this Kali Yuga, the only way to get out is to chant the holy name of the Lord. So, any questions before we close?
Hare Krishna. Dear
Thank you.
devotees, please open up the questions, reflections.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very nice analogy of the theme and the fairy and everything. Very nice. I like the control and the demigods and everything. Very nice explanation for any layman or new people also to understand. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. He is the one, like he said, that this material world is like a fair. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, if there are no questions, let's thank His Grace Patitapavana Balaram Prabhu by chanting 3 times Hari Bol for giving wonderful class. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow is weekend, so Sunday we have a special Shri Shri Radha Madhava Boat Festival, Nauka Vihara Yantra, in our swimming pool. Please join. And our next Bhagavatam class will be Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Wish you a very, very happy Krishna conscious day ahead and a very happy Krishna consciousness weekend. Let's offer our prayers to Lord Narasimhadeva to give the protection for entire congregation and the entire world. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Muchor Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Muchor Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Muchor Namamyaham. Narasimha Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Let's offer our obeisances to all assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Let's chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra enthusiastically and wind up the session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा की जय. अमल पुराणम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. हरे कृष्णा.